and drinking habits. Okay, plus clothing, I guess. So the Athens used a lot of sheep for clothing, and I guess you could say kind of like the Chinese silk. But I'm gonna move on to foods and drinks. They drank a lot of water, and they had a lot of farms for murdering animals, I guess. And they caused a lot of blood to happen in their farms, I guess. They did do a lot of milking cows and killing pigs and all that other farmy stuff. But, yeah. They also had a lot of ways of drinking, as in milk, water, I guess juice, and other like fruits too, like fruits. And that's pretty much it.
You already read that. The first settlement of Athens, 3000 BC, was situated on the rock of Acropolis. According to the tradition, Athens was founded when the king Theseus united in a state several settlements of Attica. The last king of ancient Athens was Codrus, who sacrificed his life. Athens is the capital of the largest city of Greece. Athens is one of the world's oldest cities, with its recorded history spanning over 3,400 years. It is the earliest human preexist, starting somewhere between the 11th and 7th millennium BC. I'm done.
The primary purpose of Athenian education was to produce thinkers. Well-trained people in arts and sciences, people prepared for peace and war. During primary school, younger boys learned things and often were taught how to play ball games, while older boys were taught more military-type activities, such as running, boxing, and wrestling. All Athenian boys were expected to read heavily. However, as literature played a very important part in their education, the national epic poems, Homer's, like in Homer Simpson, and Iliad, I don't know how to pronounce that word, and Odyssey, were mandatory teaching in all Athenian elementary schools. The boys were also taught how to play the lyre and sing and do arithmetic. The emphasis, of Athenian education was to prepare well-rounded citizens capable of performing whatever task was asked of them. At age 14, At age 14, poorer boys usually stopped going to school and began apprenticeships at a trade. Boys from families that could afford it continued to remain in school for 4 more years. At age 18, regardless of social status, all Athenian boys were required to attend military school for 2 years, after which they were free to live out their lives as they saw fit. There were no permanent schools for higher education until 390 BC, when teachers like Aristotle began establishing academics for higher learning. Athenian girls were not officially schooled, however. I'm not done. They were allowed to learn the privacy of their homes. As a result, most Athenian women had primary domestic educations. Male citizens in Athens could vote on all decisions that affected the city and serve on juries. However, democracy was not open to everyone. Men also had full citizen status and could vote, something women and children were not allowed to do. Citizen women and children were not allowed to vote. Slaves and foreigners living in Athens, known as metics, were banned from participating in government. Women were not allowed to watch plays, much less act in them. The theater was a manly affair, and the roles of women were played by men. By men? You know what? Screw this. Okay. The theater was men also played games that did not involve physical activity, such as marbles, dice, and checkers. The ancient Greek version of checkers was similar to what the current game of backgammon. What are you doing? However, the ancient Greek version of checkers involved a board, stone, and dice. Here's Cameron with Cameron's version.
People that were men and all that sounds wrong, but whatever. They had to go through a lot of fun things, while women had to sit down and do nothing. Like, as in, women had to work at home, help with children, and, well, let's just say they didn't have many rights. Although men had more rights than women, like America, and way back then. We're not going to talk about that. Like when the United States was at war, we still are. The women also had to help with a lot of housework, which caused a lot of pain. A lot of women started to think of it being unfair. Besides, they weren't even allowed to play games or vote. Now that's just rude. Now ISIS.
This is Group Athens